I'm going to get right to the point. I've already did like one video about mental health problems, about my borderline personality disorder, my generalised anxiety disorder, and my OCD. But I didn't really go into full detail, and today I'm going to go into full detail about anxiety. And I know that obviously it doesn't just affect me, it affects a lot of people. However, people seem to not understand that, they don't seem to understand that some people have it even worse than that. And yes, even though everyone has a little bit of anxiety, I don't think people get that there's, you know, the ones who have disorders, you know, are the ones that are crippled by it. Like, for example, bunny quotations, normal people. I know there's no such thing really, but I'm just going to use that for now. People, basically what I'm saying is, by normal people, I just mean people who aren't suffering anxiety or any mental health problem for that matter, and they're less likely to understand. But I've also noticed even people with mental health problems seem to have a problem understanding, and seem to be shitty listeners. So I mean, I'm not a very good listener either, but that's because I can't help that. I don't have a very good attention span, and there's a high likelihood I have ADHD, but I never really talked about like everything. Yeah, even with, I've been diagnosed with 3 things already, but there are a lot of things that I didn't tell them, so they couldn't diagnose me, even though the signs were obvious. I'm rambling on, I'm just going to get to the point. Anxiety is really fucking overwhelming, okay? First of all, you think everyone's staring at you. The thought of going out and socialising with people is terrifying, it makes you panic, and you don't want to do anything, you just want to lay in bed, you just want to sort of sit on your own and play video games or whatever it is you like doing, and just being alone and not wanting to face the world. You want the world to swallow, you want like the ground to swallow you up when you're in a situation you can't handle, or your anxiety is at its worst. And to be fair, your anxiety is at its worst all the time. I've had anxiety all my life. You know, as a kid I had problems with anxiety, and it got worse as I got older, and you know, I didn't really start talking to people about it till I was 15. And you know, even though I got medication, I took medication, I've been on 6 different kinds, and I realised medication isn't for me. So no, I can't treat it that way. And everyone says, oh, anxiety is a treatable disorder. Actually, not for everyone. It doesn't work that way. I'm sorry to tell you this, but everyone's different. So the fact that people put us in a box and think that we're all the same because we might have this, we might have that, or we may, you know, people who have the same disorders as me, you know, the same disorders as me, like they have borderline personality disorder, anxiety, OCD, they might have this, you know, they might have all 3 of those things like me, but the difference is, it varies between person to person. Everyone's different, and people just assume that everyone's the fucking same when they're not, and it pisses me off. It just makes me really angry. Anyway, basically I'm going to go through a summary of how it feels. Sorry, it's like been really hot and my throat's funny and I forgot to drink some water. First off, you go to a public area, and as soon as you enter a place where it's crowded, or there's more people than you're used to, or more people than you prefer, it can already start. It can start already before you even know it. You think everyone's staring at you, scrutinising you. You think people are talking about you, whispering about you, laughing about you, and you just feel like the crowd is swallowing you up. It feels like you're drowning. And you're drowning in this overwhelming feeling of dread and anxiety and panic, and you can't do anything about it. At that point, you are just laid bare. You're exposed, and your anxiety takes advantage of that. And it's really hard to explain. It's really hard to explain because as I said, it varies from person to person. From my experience, I feel like that all the time. I don't sleep very often because of it. I get very little sleep, and I haven't slept properly in 5 years. I haven't had a decent sleep in 5 years. it's not just that, but I have like all my fears, all the things I'm afraid of. For example, I'm afraid of someone slitting my throat in my sleep, breaking into our house and killing everyone in my house, and I think about that all the time. And I think about insects getting into my room, and I have this horrible chronic fear of insects that I can't get over. And even if I just see an insect, it doesn't have to be in my room even. It can either be in my room or it can be outside of it. And if I see it that day and it's not killed, I'm going to think that it's going to come into my room and it's going to crawl all over me in my sleep, and that stops me sleeping. And there's a lot of things that stop me sleeping, and it's I could try talking to people about this, but the problem is I don't think they'd really get me. Just because they suffer anxiety, it doesn't necessarily mean they'll understand. Just like people who don't have it. I mean, to be honest with you, the only person who's really tried to understand me is my mum. You know, okay, there's a few people online that have tried to understand me, but honestly, it doesn't feel, I don't really feel connected. I don't feel like they really get me. And I don't feel like anyone really gets me. I don't think anyone gets anyone. Let's be honest, people are just too different to understand each other. Let's be realistic here. Nobody really understands each other. You know, they can say all they want. Oh, I know how you feel, you're not alone, I'm here for you. What a load of shit. That is bullshit. I've never heard so much poppycock in my life. Yes, I use poppycock. What? That's an old saying. Nobody uses that anymore. Well, I just did. So there's that. Yes, you feel dread all the time. And you can panic any time. There's no way you know when you're going to panic. It can just happen like that. And you have like no control at all over it. You have no control. And the thing in anxiety sufferer fears those just losing control. If there's something I haven't learned by now, it's most anxiety sufferers do not want to lose control. We don't like to lose control of ourselves. And the thing is, we always feel like we're losing control. We feel like we're going insane. We're scared that we're going insane. We don't want to go insane. But we think maybe we already have. And that's even more scary. See, panicking, we worry about worrying, you know? We worry about everything and anything. And people don't understand how crippling it is. How it affects your life day to day. Yeah, it's called mental health problems, yeah, sure. But it's not. It doesn't just stay in your head. It affects your life. It goes outside of just the mind. It consumes you from within and outwards. It basically it controls your life. And yes, even though there are people who are treated in that, don't think, oh, just because it can be doesn't mean, doesn't mean, just because anxiety could be treated and some people can, it doesn't mean it will. And it's nothing to do with whether, we persevere or not. Have you seen the mental health people? They suck. Yes, I said that. Oh, boo-hoo. You're probably going to boo me now or something, whatever. I'm sorry to tell you this, but all the people, support workers and anxiety... Sorry, I'm hiding this really badly. I'm actually really, I'm feeling anxious right now. That's why I don't even want to, show my face right now. I normally don't care, but just today, it's the same when I talk on the phone. I don't like talking on the phone, and I have my mum answer the phone now. We've actually got documents, forums, sort of saying that she can speak for me, because I know it's a burden to her, and I don't mean to be a burden. I don't want to be, but I just can't talk on the phone. Anyway, I'm getting off track. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the mental health people, I've had shit ones. And I've had bad experiences over and over again. I've even been abandoned by one of my support workers. One of them, they didn't even bother to ring or leave a note or anything like that. They didn't bother to say anything before they, stopped seeing me. And I didn't realise they were stopped seeing. They didn't even say. No one even said. It was so poorly handled. It was bullshit. It was bollocks. And it was so unprofessional of them. They're supposed to be helping. They're supposed to be helping me. Not the other bloody way round. It's like when they say, oh, well, you have to tell us what you want us to help you with. How the fuck am I supposed to know? That's your job. That's their fucking job. Not mine. I'm not the psychiatrist or the bloody support worker. They are. They're supposed to be helping me, not the other bloody way round. It's just, I realise just how fucking useless people are and how shit they are. And it makes me not want to trust people even more. People have already given me enough reason not to trust them. So when people say, oh, there is help and there is support, what a load of shit. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, that's a load of bollocks. You clearly haven't gone through what I have, if you're going to say that. I'm sorry if I sound narrow-minded or I just sound clouded in my anger and my judgment is not correct or something. I don't give a shit how you see it. And I'm going to tell you this now. If I already told you in my other video, the medication already nearly killed me twice. I could have died. So yeah, sorry if that, traumatised me, and, I can't be normal, or I can't function properly. When you see me on camera, or you hear me singing and you see my keyboard, you might not even think it. You might not even think I had these problems. And, it's funny when people say, oh, you're just being silly, anxiety happens to everyone. Well, sorry to tell you this, but not everyone has crippling anxiety. Not everyone has the kind of anxiety that stops you living, that stops you going outside and doing things that people my age should be doing or should be enjoying. I can't enjoy those things. And all this news crap only makes my anxiety worse. That's why I don't like listening to the news anymore, because it worsens my anxiety. It makes me feel like I'm going to die there and then, that someone's going to come in and kill us. Just, ugh. And I don't like natural disasters or hearing about any of that. I have to tune out the news. I can't be listening to the world's problems. I've got anxiety. I don't fucking have time for other people's problems. And I think, you know what? And I admit that. I admit I've got limits. And I can only do so much. I'm human. I'm sorry. Yes, this is more of a rant than anything. And I keep rambling on and not getting to the fucking point. I need to get this out. I just need to vent. And I don't feel like I can really vent to people and message stuff. They're always saying to me, oh, you can vent if you like. But the problem is when I vent, they get fucking butthurt about it. They can't handle me. They can't handle the heat. That's the problem. They can't take it. I need someone who can take it. Who's patient. Who can fucking at least try to understand. The problem is, nobody can. I'm too much for them. I'm clearly too much to handle. And they've proven that again and again. And it's funny how they say that I can talk to them and that they're going to be there, because we all know that's rubbish. They're too busy. And you know what? So am I. Do you think I just sit around and do nothing? Why? Do you think people with anxiety are useless? Do you think we can't do anything? They say, yes, I can't go out and work. I don't have a job. Oh, look at me. Yes, I am on benefits. I'm sorry. They said I could claim. The benefit people actually did say I could. So fuck you. Saying, and I don't like when people say I'm lazy when I'm hardly lazy. I write my own music. I write lyrics. I make videos. If I was so lazy, I wouldn't even do that. If I was so lazy, I wouldn't do anything. It's easy for people to say as well. It's easy for people to say, oh, just get over it. Just snap out of it. Pull yourself together. Stop being human. Stop feeling. Fucking animals. You don't know how I feel, so fuck you. I've been surrounded by insensitive fucks for a long time. Okay? And I'm fucking done with it. I'm done. And it's a bit late now for people to be sympathetic or sensitive now, because I don't believe them. I think they're full of shit and they're lying to me. When they say that they care. Whatever. Sure you do. And yes, you might think I'm a very negative person. What the fuck do you expect? I've been let down time and time again. And I'm not saying, oh, just because I'm let down, I have an excuse to be bitter. Well, I am bitter, and I can't help that. And I can't help not trusting people, not wanting to sleep at night, thinking someone's going to kill me, thinking someone's going to rob us, thinking someone's going to kill my family. I have thoughts like that all the time. I treat every day like it's my last because I keep thinking I'm going to die or someone's going to kill me. And yeah, I may act with bravado, I may act tough, and I may seem really confident on camera, but in reality, I'm a coward. And I'm not saying people with anxiety cowards, I'm not trying to say anyone else's, I'm just saying me personally. You know, so fuck you if you think that I'm insulting you or something. It's not all about you. Yeah, I can't anymore, I'm just... There's so much I want to say. There's so much to say, but I can't. It's like, it's just, it's too much. But anyway, I've vented enough. I've said quite a bit. So, there's that. Anyway, maybe I'll make a part 2 and actually though get to the point instead of wasting time. And I don't care how horrible I sound, this is the real me, you know? This is me, laid bare, exposed, whatever. You know, I'm not the nicest of people, I know that. I'm a fucking bitch, let's be honest here. But at least I can admit it, unlike some people. And I sound even more bitter now for saying that. It probably sounds really passive aggressive, but oh fucking well. Why the fuck do I care what people think so much? You know, that's caused me problems enough, caring what others think. But I can't stop doing it. I can't. Sometimes I can shrug certain things off which I couldn't before. Like, if someone, you know, leaves bad comments on my video or something, I realise some people do that, I got used to that. But there are certain times where some comments will throw me off guard. Just that moment, like, I could just be in a bad mood, or I could have had a panic attack not long ago, and I'm checking like my inbox and I see like a really negative comment or something, it can take me off guard, and that's the worst time, that's the worst thing. And it's like, even like someone who's supposed to be my friend does it, if they do it to me, and to be fair, I'm used to so-called friends doing shit like that, saying shit that I never thought they'd ever say. Then again, I can't expect anything from anyone, can I? I can't expect too much from people. That is expecting too much. Thinking that they actually could do any good for you. Thinking that they could actually help you. When you realise you're alone. When you realise, you know, that you're by yourself. When you're up at night crying yourself to sleep. When you're up at night panicking about everyone, thinking you're going to die, thinking insects are going to crawl inside of you and burst out of your belly button. Think they're going to... You just think the worst. And people just say, try not to worry, try not to worry. They just don't get it. People don't fucking get it. No one gets it. That's the problem. That's why people are too fucking stupid. People are too ignorant and intolerant. People just don't understand. They live in the fucking Stone Age. That's what they live in. They're like fucking cavemen. They're animals. Half the people. They're not smart enough. In fact, they shouldn't be here. They should be on an island or live in a fucking cave away from civilization. To be fair, I wish I could live away from civilization because I'm tired of civilization. I'm sick of people. I'm sick of what they do. I'm sick of how cruel people are to each other. And every time I think of it like that, every time I think about that, it makes my anxiety worse. It makes me think that people are going to do that to me, that they're going to do that to people I care about. And I can't stop thinking about it. It's all the time. And anxiety has consumed me all my life. And I always pick the wrong people to talk to it about. And that was my mistake. That was my fault. Because I thought I could trust people. And look what happened. You might think me a drama queen. You might think I'm faking it. Well, I'm not faking it, alright? Fuck you. I keep saying that, fuck you. I'm so terrible at this. I'm so terrible at telling people to back the fuck off. Anyway, before this gets any more awkward, before I get more pissy, goodbye. Unless we not forget the physical side of it, like your heart hammering away into your chest, trying to break out of it, trying to fly out of your chest. It hurts. It hurts so much when you have a palpitation in your heart is beating too much, and you know you can't stop it. Once it starts doing that, you're fucked. And you know, the nausea, the pains in your stomach, it hurts. It's so painful. And you get headaches, you feel lightheaded, you feel dizzy, you feel the room spinning, your sight starts to fuck up. And you know, even when I'm wearing my bloody glasses, because I have to, it feels like my vision is fading in and out of focus, just like before I had to wear them. That's how it felt too. And you know, there's when you're having a panic attack, or I cry when I'm having a panic attack. Fuck, I can't even word it properly, for fuck's sake. But it feels like I'm crying, and people probably think I'm crazy, because I can't stop myself. Once I start crying, I can cry a whole day. I have no stop button. I can cry till I pass out. I can cry that much. And I'm not joking. I have cried that much. I can't stop myself. It's like when I start laughing manically about stuff, I can't stop laughing either. In other words, I could probably die if I cried too much. Okay, maybe I'm thinking too much about it. Thanks, anxiety. But yeah, it's really... And there's not just that, but there's, you know, the sweating, there's the itching. Like, I have really bad eczema anyway, and that's something you're born with. You know, it's a skin condition that you have all your life. And, you know, when you have it, you have it. You don't just get it. It's a bitch, let me tell you. Anyone who has it out there, I sympathise. But yeah, if I didn't have eczema, if it's not bad enough that I have eczema already, my anxiety on top of it, and my anger, like, it makes me itch even more. And it makes me itch so much that I bleed. I itch so much that I'm peeling away skin. But I have this thing where I'm fiddling about with my hands and I'm picking scabs, and I have to keep picking at my hands and stuff like that, and I can't stop myself. Like, I have to do something with my hand. I have to grab something. I have to hurt myself, thinking that I could gain control, you know, over myself, but I can't. It can't be controlled. Once it becomes a physical thing, that's it. You are fucked. And you can't stop. You need someone there who can calm you down. But the problem is, I don't calm down easily. And a lot of other people might also, this might apply to them as well, where, you know, even if people are there to calm down, it's not enough. It's just not enough. It will never be enough. And even if that sounds really like spoiled or something, it's not. But it is literally, it's just a fact, really. That things that don't help everyone. We need to leave the room. We need to just stay out of that place or wherever we are. And it's really hard. I dread going out. I don't really want to go out anymore. But at the same time, when there's things I need to get, I have to. I don't go to supermarkets anymore though. That's the one place I'll never go to. But luckily for me, my mum and bro go out and get things anyway, and I just pay back or whatever. Even though most of the time my mum says I don't have to. She's that kind of mum. She just wants to buy me things, and I feel really bad about it. I feel like I've burdened her long enough. I feel like I'm just a burden, and I'm always going to be a burden. And she's got her own problems, you know. And she already had to raise us, which is hard enough. You know, she did a really good job at it. And you know, I'm lucky to have a mum like that. So it's It's really hard when I think about it like that, because yeah, I am a burden, and it makes me not want to talk about things with her because I don't want to worry her more. But then if I don't talk about it, she'll end up worrying about me anyway. So it's just like I can't win either way. Yeah. It kind of feels that way when I talk to just anyone, like, and my online friends, which, you know, are very few, but also very I don't really fully trust them. I do trust them, but I don't fully trust them. I can never do that. I'll never will be able to trust anyone like that. And I have my reasons. You know, I don't even really trust myself that much. I'm afraid of myself, what I'll do. Yeah, I've rambled on long enough. I probably didn't get all the physical symptoms because I was so worked up and so hell-bent on venting. There are other physical symptoms, and there are a lot that I also experience. Like, for example, it can leave you exhausted when you go to a public area or something like that. It can leave you really exhausted when you think everyone's staring at you and, you know, scrutinising you. And as I probably actually already said this, and I'm repeating myself, it's just really hot. It got to like 41 degrees today, so my brain is fried. And I've just been really stressed. But then again, that's normal for me. I'm stressed all the fucking time. That's what anxiety does to you. And no, I'm not acting like I'm the only one with anxiety. Just don't fucking think that and be a dick about it. Alright? But I'm just saying, you know, I don't really feel like anyone understands. They can say all they like, they understand, but let's be realistic here. You probably don't. And let's be fair, you have your own problems. And even if you have anxiety, you probably have a different degree to me, or you probably have like different symptoms that you have. And the thing is, it all depends from person to person. People have different personalities, different lifestyles, different backgrounds, just different everything. We're all different. So no one's going to be exactly the same. No one's going to experience exactly the same things, even if they're similar. They can experience similar things, and we could relate, you know, to some things. But let's be honest, we're not very empathetic. People are selfish and greedy, and most of us just don't care anymore. Let's be honest, we don't care about each other that much. As humans, we've fallen to that. In fact, we've always been like that. We haven't evolved that much. Our technology might have evolved, but the people themselves haven't. And just because, there's been changes in the world, do you think that's made a difference? No. There are still greedy fucks out there. There are still cruel people out there. There are still murderers. There are still rapists. And there are still people that just don't understand. There's sensitive pricks, or there's people that are just there's social justice warriors who, by the way, don't actually know what sensitive is by the sound of things. Because being sensitive means you still at least have a sense of humour. By my experience, as someone who is sensitive and has actual problems. And you know what? I can take a fucking joke. I've really strayed off subject. Jesus. And you know, if I sound like a bitch to you, fine. I'm a bitch. Get over it. Everyone has a dark side to them. Oh god, that sounds so emo. But yeah, everyone has a bad side to them, even you. You're not a saint yourself. No one's a saint. And I'm not talking directly at a person watching, so I'm talking more directly at just people in general, and just people in my past who have been shit. And I'm just venting, okay? You know, I'm not really trying to insult anyone. I'm just venting. So just take it as it is. It is what it is. And it is what I said it was. If you take it any other way, that's your fault, okay? I'm sorry, but it is. Accept that already. Bye.